gentlemen, may I have your attention? The show starts in 3, 2, 1.
This is the FLA Trash Talker Podcast with JG, Toby, Wally, and Keith. The following program is 4 guys talking shit about the happenings in the world. The show is meant to be comedic and informative. The opinions on this podcast is for entertainment purposes only and do not reflect the beliefs or opinions of the cast, their peers, friends, family, or co-workers. This show may contain strong and crude language for the sake of entertainment. If you are under 18, please get permission from your parents to watch and listen. If you are offended by the contents of this podcast, please do not watch or listen. You can follow us on YouTube and Instagram. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.
Please do not sue us or fire us.
And now, it's time for the show. That's right, everyone. We are the FLA Trash Talker Podcast. We are a weekly podcast on YouTube, and we talk trash about everything, including our sports hour, where we talk even more trash. If you're watching right now, thanks for hanging out with us. If this is your first time joining us, welcome. We hope you like the show, and we hope you tell a friend. We're live every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. right here on YouTube. You can check out all of our shows just by searching for the FLA Trash Talker Podcast. Make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification button, and always, and I mean always, tell a friend. We have a lot to talk about on today's episode of the FLA Trash Talker Podcast. I'm JG. Looks like everyone's here. What's going on, Toby?
Not much, man. Welcome to the show. I'm probably going to piss Wally off today. That's a little warning, but let's get into this shit.
All right, what's going on, Wally?
I was having a good day up until I heard that. So interested to see what happens in the show and what we get into.
I'm very interested to see where Toby's going with that. What's going on, Keith?
What's up, everybody? Happy Hump Day. Happy Wednesday. Thank you for joining us again.
That's right. Another week. Do you guys know this is our 38th episode of the FLA Trash Talker Podcast?
Out of here.
38 episodes, and we're still kicking, and we're getting it going, and we're going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. That's what the FLA Trash Talkers is all about. Now, what's your thoughts? Do you guys remember back in the day where you were in high school, we would come home, and the first thing we would do is we would pick up our phone off the wall, dial our friend, and have a conversation, and we would just talk to them all day long? You remember those phones, the landlines? Well, guess what? The landlines are coming back. They are coming back because they're saying that kids spend too much time on their cell phone with screen time. So now they're bringing back the landline to get these kids to stop on their phones. What do you guys think about that?
Well, who the fuck is they?
Thank you.
They are bringing back the landline. So, I mean, you could say Toby's bringing back the fucking Volkswagen bus, but who's gonna buy it, right?
They did bring those back though.
Yeah, but nobody
did
bought
bring
it
back
and they stopped. That's what I'm saying.
No. They knew they all e buses now.
Yeah, nobody buys that shit. So my point is, like, who's bringing it back? Like,
Yeah, I want to know who's bringing it back too, but it's not going to be a traditional landline like it was before, where you plug it into the wall. It says here in the article it's going to be a pod line. Communities have formed pod lines where groups of families agree to use the landline for their children so they can easily communicate with each other offline, meaning it's still going to be digital. It's still going to be digital. It's not going to be analog. It's not going to be wired into the wall or anything like that, because I don't know about you guys. In my house, I don't have any wired. I can't plug in a phone anywhere here. Can you guys plug in a phone anywhere at your house?
No, I don't have a telephone jack.
So confused.
well, like, I mean, this is the equivalent of saying, oh, we have this thing, we're going to go back to putting a fucking grate over a fire pit, and that's how we're going to cook our dinner, right? Like,
Right. That's
Pandora's box has already been opened, is what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to be able to close that box. Like, I just don't see this gaining any traction or doing anything. You're saying they are bringing it back, but I want to see who's going to use it.
I don't know who's going to use it either. I'm not going to use it, but the whole point is for child safety and screen reduction time. Away from looking at that phone. That's the reason why families are getting
Snatch
upset.
that phone out of all them little bastards' hands, and I'm gonna tell you right now, there's gonna be a lot of hissy fits thrown.
I think we're going to see a child of civil war is what's going to happen. They're going to come after us. They're going to come after us, taking their phones away.
Help me out.
Yeah.
What's the difference between screen time on a cell phone and talking on a cell phone? They still being very unproductive talking.
Fair enough. But screen time is when you're sitting there looking at YouTube all day long, playing video games. I don't know, looking at porn. That's all considered screen time.
Just take
these
the damn
little
phone.
motherfuckers don't talk on the phone though. They text and they go into whatever group forum chat things, and they're not on there having phone calls.
These kids don't know how to talk to each other. They don't know how to talk to each other. So by taking they text each other, they don't even text each other. They use the Snapchats. That's how they communicate with each other. They don't text anymore. So these kids don't talk on the phone, like you said, Toby. So what's the point of the landline? What's that going to do? How's that going to help anybody?
A failed experiment. I don't even know if I want to call it experiment because we already experienced it. So
yeah.
And I haven't had a landline in my house for fucking, I'll venture to say 16, 17 years.
I can't remember the last time I had a landline. Wally, you said you were confused. What are you confused about?
I mean, so in order for landlines to work, when you go to call somebody else, they have to have a landline, right?
Yeah, you would think so.
So how does the communication go? So if I put a
you can
landline,
dial someone's cell phone number, bro.
Yeah, I could dial.
on a landline.
Yes,
of course you can. Of course you can. Let me. Okay, so at work, do you think everybody's walking around with a cell phone when they call in to customer service? They're all on landlines. The customer service department, they're all on landlines, and we're calling in from our cell phones.
There's pretty much an internet line that they're talking on. But you're right. You don't have to have landline. You just have a telephone number versus telephone number.
It's Keith, you described it exactly what it is. It's a digital thing, but it's not an actual wired phone. It's all internet. It's kind of like Teams. How we make phone calls on Teams is kind of the same thing. The only difference is instead of working on a computer like we're doing right now, you're going to actually have a phone, an actual phone that you pick up and hold to your ear. And that's how you're going to dial it and you're going to call somebody. This is what's coming back. This is what they're saying. That it says here that the younger demographic, particularly Gen Z, is embracing the landline. It's parents saying it's going to improve the conversational skills with their children because they actually have to talk on the phone rather than text.
Sound like some parents that's not even talking to their own kids.
I think the parents are texting their kids. That's what I think. And I think they're getting a little upset going, hey, man, we got to figure out how to change this, right? So let's do the landline. Why not sit down at dinner and have a conversation with your kids? I don't think parents are doing that nowadays. They're relying on other people to make that to raise their children now. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot. Yeah, parents have been doing that for years. They send the kids off to school and expecting the teachers to teach them. Yeah, to teach them morals and how to walk in a straight line and have respect for other people and things like that. And then when they get home, they think that they spent 8 hours at the school and those teachers are teaching them morals and stuff on top of reading, arithmetic, and all that. And, and then when they get home, the parents are off doing what they want to do. And the kids are kind of just there.
I agree with that 100%. I mean, it in this world that we live in, it kind of could be hard to raise your own child. I mean, most parents, you got both parents working 12, 14-hour days. You have time to come home for dinner. And then you get to see the kids on the weekend.
Well, when I say that, the parents don't spend time with their kids anymore. Parents don't.
No.
They don't hear what's going on from, maybe their teachers, from what their teachers are seeing from, 8 hours a day spending time with their kids or whatever. They're not getting any kind of feedback. So, they thinking everything's okay. And then I don't know, man. It's just, there's a disconnect these days with parents teaching kids morals. Like taught my kids to say yes sir, no sir, yes ma'am, no ma'am. When my son walks to a grocery store or any place that there's a door, if there's a woman or a female behind him, he opens the door for them and lets them walk in first. I don't think those type of morals are kind of being taught these
No,
days.
no, they're not. They're not. And to answer your question real quick before I follow up with you, Wally, Vonage, Ring Central, Zoom Phone, 800.com, To Go, Aircall, Open Phone, and Grasshopper are just some of the companies that are focused on building this landline for homes now. But to follow up on you, what you just said, Wally, yeah, dude, I don't think that the proper morale is being taught anymore to these kids. Like
Well,
you
and
said, like
you're
I open the door for my wife every single time I get to the car, right? And I've gotten into the habit of teaching my boys that to open the door for her. You know what I mean? And kind of instilling that's what you're supposed to do. You hold the door open for a female.
Well, those are certain
Then
skills
again, you
that
can't tell which one's a female or male nowadays anymore. So,
well, I mean,
it doesn't matter anyway, right?
Hopefully, you figure that out before you get them to the door of your car. But so all I'm saying is, parents don't teach those skills, and now parents are relying on a phone system so that their kids can be able to communicate with one another and be able to kind of function in society. I mean, once again, it's a lack of parenting. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, I know I kind of went sideways with that to a certain degree, and I'm trying to bring it back. But it's just
No, you're right though, dog. You're right. Parents are lazy now. One of the things I never got caught up in this, and maybe because my kids are older, but it irritates the shit out of me when I go to a restaurant and I see, because I let me know that they do it at home. I see parents with kids with a tablet on the table. They have to watch something. They have to watch TV or something while they're eating instead of having a meal with the family and conversating.
Well, at a restaurant, at a restaurant, you're instead of engaging with your children, the parents are giving, like you said, handing them a tablet so they don't have to deal with it. They don't have to deal with any type of behavior mishaps. They don't have to deal with engaging with their child, having a conversation with their child. They can move on and do their own thing.
It's crazy. Like, I don't know how many times I've been to Universal Studios, and you'll see parents with babies in a stroller, and what do they have propped in front of the child? Is a
tablet.
Fucking a tablet, iPad, and they're playing some cartoon or something to entertain the baby, so they can kind of, yeah, I got my baby with me, but I'm out doing what I want to be doing and not even really concerned with trying to spend time with their child.
You go to a restaurant and you see a family sitting there and two of the kids are on iPads and the parents are fucking with their phones and they're hardly talking. And I hear people say things like, well, my child has sensory issues and things like that.
Yes.
That stuff didn't exist. That didn't exist when I grew up.
Well, hang on. We don't know for sure if it did or not. I'll get into that in a second because I already had that thought out. I knew that was coming. Where was I going? So are the sensory issues a product, a chicken and egg thing? Like, are they coming because of what we're doing? Or is it, are they just there now for some reason? Like when we were kids, everything was kind of introductory, right? You're 3 or 4, you shut the fuck up pretty much. You don't talk, you observe, you listen. Eventually you're old enough to get on the phone. You can watch MTV. It comes in little stages, but you're not getting overwhelmed with all of this always screen in your face nonstop all the time. So you're picking up the pieces from the world that you need to add to your repertoire as a person. The holding the door, all that stuff. You're seeing it and you're focused on it because there's not a screen always in your face and you're not antsy and agitated. When it comes to us being kids, now my question is, did those people exist except parents of our generation were brought up a certain way to where they just didn't bring them into the public eye that way? I think that there's a very decent chance that might be part of that.
Well, it could be because, I mean, all of us were raised a certain way, but now parents that were in our age range are those parents that are allowing those kids to be on those tablets. So with those kids back then, those parents back then, are they the ones that you're referring to, that they were kind of behind closed doors and they kind of did the screen time, stood in front of the TV all day long, and now they have the phone, so it's mobile. So now that's what they're bringing to their kids.
It's a perplexing deal, man. I can't figure out the chicken and egg part of this. Like, do the kids have the sensory issues because of the screens, or is it just because the parents are sticking the screens in front of their face all the time? Like, how is this developing that way? I don't know, but it's certainly a problem because our eyes were on the world around us.
Yes.
When we were growing up, because they had nowhere else to be. Like,
right.
So you were paying attention to the way that your parents behaved and the way that their friends behaved, et cetera, et cetera. And you think about when we were kids, you damn sure didn't hear screaming ass kids all over the place anywhere that you went. And you do hear that now.
No, exactly right. But
because
then
the parent would look at your ass real quick and you shut the fuck up in public, bro. Like,
I will tell you, I got my ass beat by my mother in Sears. All right.
Yes.
In
Kmart
Sears,
here.
and you know what happened? Not one person in that store batted an eye. They were probably like, what did he do? He probably deserved it. I got my ass beat in Sears. All right. So I remember getting hit in the face with a bag.
So Jay, did you beat your kids in Sears?
No, because Sears doesn't exist anymore. If it did, I would.
Did you beat your kids in any store?
No, I did not beat my
kids.
No,
okay,
I did not beat my kids
once again,
at any point. I manhandled them, though. I had to let them know who's in charge.
The things that we went through, we didn't pass down.
Correct.
And then the next generation doesn't pass that down. So it's a product of ourselves where we felt that it was or heard or maybe it was talked about that the way we grew up was a little harsh, and therefore we didn't do the same thing to our kids. We tried to do it in a different way.
So you're saying that our parents are tough on us. So now we've knocked it down a notch or two on how we're raising our kids.
I don't know, dog. I come from
I still spanked my kids when they were 1-2 years old. Like my kids knew when we went to a certain place, you don't pick up anything. You don't ask me if you want anything. You keep your hands inside the cart. You pay attention. And I think there's none of, but I laid that law down. And I learned that from my mom.
Right.
From that generation.
I raised my kids very similar to the way my mom raised me. All right. My mom was a single mom, worked 2 jobs, but she raised me and she raised me right. She's the one that told me that I have to open up a door for a female. She's the one that she taught me the essentials of life, even though she was against all odds, working 2 jobs, coming home, cooking dinner, having to deal with homework. It was just crazy, but she taught me how to be a man, which is funny that my mom taught me that,
Oh, yeah, I had a single mom. I grew up with a single mom.
Yeah, but that's who I lived with. Yeah, she taught me how to be a man, because who can teach you to be a man better than a female mother figure? Because they want to be treated a certain way, so they're going to teach you how to treat a woman. I don't know. That's just my thought process on that. I'm not talking about building stuff. I'm not talking about building stuff. I'm just talking about how you're supposed to treat people and how you're supposed to treat a woman. She did good. I thought she did a good job teaching me how to do all that.
I was raised in a 2-parent household. I was
two different things.
Yeah, I was raised in a 2-parent household, but I was raised in the ass whooping 2-parent household. My parents didn't give a damn who whooped my ass. If I fucked up, I got it. I got it from either one of them. Sometimes, if it was bad enough, they tag team my ass. I've gotten goddamn, when one got tired, the other one tagged in and finished it. And like Jay, I remember one of the worst ass whoopings I ever got was in Kmart on Biscayne Boulevard in Miami Shores. And I used to like to play hide and seek inside the racks, the clothing racks in Kmart. And who the fuck I'm playing hide and seek with, I don't know. I was the only child till I was 7 years old. So and this ass whooping was well before I had siblings. And my mom used to say, "Don't go play in them people clothes. Don't play in them people clothes. Don't play in them people clothes." And if I remember there was one last time I went in there hiding in them clothes, and my mom went in the rack with me and beat my ass with one of the hangers that was on the rack. And I've never done that again. And to answer your question, no, I didn't beat my kid's ass in Kmart because by the time I had kids, your ass go to jail for that. But my kids knew if they messed up, what's going to happen when they get home.
Well, so I raised my kids. I kind of took my mom's structure. She was very strict, right? So I guess I'm kind of a strict dad. But my thought process behind it is I'm trying to raise them to be boys, to go out there in the world and be a functional person in this world. So I'm teaching that kind of stuff. Now, when they were younger, I did manhandle them. I never hurt them. I never beat them. I never did anything. But I also let them know that who's in charge. Even to this day, that my teenagers know the difference between me playing around and when I get serious. Like, I don't have to touch them. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to beat them. All I got to do is say, "Hey, stop!" And then all of a sudden, everybody just kind of.
Well, I don't want everybody to think that I was like some kind of child abuser or something like that. Like, Toby, I think can attest that my kids were raised right and healthy, and there was never that kind of stuff going on. But I was disciplined with, I made sure that they had discipline in their life, and I want to say that I think it's easier for parents because I've seen it where a parent will say, "You're on restriction for the next 2 weeks. I'm taking your phone away, or you're not going out, or you're not doing this, or you're not doing that. You're on restriction." And within 2 to 3 days,
you get it back.
Nothing's happening. Everything's back to the same thing because if for a parent to make sure that their child is not doing the things that you are, you taking away from them, you have to be on top of them all the time. So that means you can't do what you want to do as a parent. You have to stay on top of what they're doing because you have to keep an eye on them because as soon as they fuck up, you got to be right on top of them and say, "Hey, you need to get your ass back to doing what you're doing." And I think people are so self-absorbed these days that as soon as they have an opportunity to kind of go their own way, they go their own way and they forget exactly what they told their kids that they were going to do to them and take away from them. So,
that's my opinion. I think nowadays it's a little bit harder because you take the phone away, they go to school and there's 2,000 other phones there.
Oh, they got burners. I mean, my daughter did it.
I don't think my 13-year-old is getting a burner. I don't think. Are they?
Oh, so when I say a burner, she has a phone that's an old phone, right? And all you need is a SIM card and internet access, and they can call. They can do whatever they want to do.
Thinking burner phone, like a flip phone. Yeah, the old school burner phones. I forget about.
But what I'm saying is they have an extra phone within their reach that it has internet access that they can't make phone calls and stuff, but they can still get on the internet. They can still message people. My daughter did it. You know what I'm saying? So you have to stay on top of it, man. And you have to know what's going on, and it takes time. And I don't think parents sometimes today, or parents that have kids, I think sometimes they get self-absorbed and kind of forget those things, and they want to go party, hang out, spend time with their, friends and shit instead of.
Well, we have a couple 100,000 years of data of humans being born and raised, and this last 20 years is the first segment of that in which these little fucking screens have started to come into play. So I don't know that we are really sure yet on what that really does to a child. Like, are these kids smarter? Are they more advanced?
Well, that's the crazy thing. And because you think about it, when we were growing up, if we had access to Google, Like
I wouldn't need Playboy magazine.
Bro, we had the motherfucking Encyclopedia Britannica over there on the wall.
And them
And open that
motherfuckers,
bitch
them
one
motherfuckers
time.
are trying. Them motherfuckers are trying to sell them things every 6 months
We
as
wasn't
they
trying
walked
to
around
open
the
that
center.
shit.
Those damn things
But,
were expensive as hell
That shit
too.
looked like fucking school over there on the bookshelf. I wasn't going over that motherfucker.
So you had
Right.
a full encyclopedia at your house when you were growing up?
It was.
Yeah, I
It
did.
wasn't the good one though. It was like the one from like 1978 or some shit. It was like the World Encyclopedia or something. And there was like, I don't know, like 24 books or something. I remember they had the green and white spine. I remember them sitting there, but like you couldn't read up on shit that happened in the 80s because it was old as fuck already. So
You talk about a phone. You talk about a phone line. Remember when you had to go to when you went to the library and you wanted to look up a book? What did you have to do?
You had to go through the little Rolodex.
The Dewey Decimal.
Dewey
You had
Decimal.
to.
oh yeah,
The
you
Dewey
had to
Decimal
do decimal that
system.
shit, boy.
The Dewey Decimal System.
I was
Nobody
somewhat
even.
I was somewhat of a nerd, dog. I'm sorry. My mama made sure I had at least
Oh,
two.
we can tell.
My mom made sure I had. My mom didn't graduate high school. I'll tell them the story at work today. My mom dropped out of high school at 9 because she grew up in the deep South. She was the oldest daughter, and my grandmother was still having kids, so her job was to go out and provide for the family, while my grandmother stayed home, made babies, and took care of babies. So my mom had to drop out of high school in 9th grade. So she let me know at an early age she'd be damned if I was going to be the same person. So as long as I remember, I had at least 2 sets of encyclopedias with 2-3 bookshelves bolted to the wall in my bedroom. I had a TV. I always had a TV. So I don't know what the fuck the difference between screen time on that and the phone. But I had to make sure all my chores was done and homework was done and checked before I turned the TV on.
I never had a TV growing up. My mom refused to allow me to have a TV in my room.
How old were you when you had a TV in your room, Keith?
I've never remembered life without having one in my room.
Damn, I was 14. My first TV was a 13-inch black and white TV. I got 4 channels and I had the antenna fucking.
Well, all of us had that because it was no cable.
Well, you make it sound like you was like living in fucking Heathrow and shit.
But I always had a color TV. You gotta realize too, my daddy was a garbage man. The only job I've ever known my dad to do was a garbage man. So if he found a good TV on the route, he brought it home, and they would upgrade the TV in their bedroom, and I would get their old TV. So I always had a color TV in my bedroom, and but I could not turn it on until all chores was done and homework was checked.
It was color TV?
Yeah, bro.
No, I'd say I had a black and white 13-inch.
Might have had a black and white one time, but that was like the spare TV.
My first one was I was 14 years old.
No, I always had
13.
I always had a 19-inch TV in my room.
Look at you. Nice.
I had one since I was 10. When I
baller.
turned 10, I got one, like a 19 joint.
Dog, I've always had my own bedroom. I've never had to share a bedroom with nobody.
I was not allowed to have a TV in my room. And I actually, since I grew up that way, not having a TV in my room, I didn't have a TV in my room when I was on my own. The first time I ever got a TV put in my room is with my wife now. She's the one that made me put a TV in the room. And you know what? I never watch it. It's just like stuck in my head. I don't lay in bed. I don't watch it. For me, the bedroom is to go to sleep. I don't have a TV. Yeah, the TV's in the room, but I don't use
a lot of people.
She uses
it.
I don't. Like that. I don't use it.
I don't understand that, but I keep a TV in my room. My TV get too old in my bedroom. It's time to swap it out. Get a new one.
No, I watch
TV
why
they got me a TV
room.
though? They got me a TV because they were tired of me having to watch every sporting event. Even though I was only 10, like you see me winning this trivia shit when sports comes, when Toby does the sports shit. I was already watching every fucking game that came on when I was 10. So yeah, that's why.
Well, I was too. I just can't retain it. You can.
we haven't done the trivia thing anymore, but I do have the scores from the last time we did the. We've been kind of talking about what teams are going to win. I do have them here, ready to go.
We'll talk about that later. Second out. No, I'm telling you though. I don't understand. I tell you, my older kids, when they were in junior high, it's when like cell phones really, really got popular and affordable. And I got them phones. And that was only, I think it was peer pressure because I raised my old. I bought my first house in Hunters Creek. That's when Hunters Creek was really popping, and uh, I was the only black man on the block, and all my kids' friends had cell phones. So peer pressure, I had to buy them fucking cell phones. My
Well,
son, Keith Jr. had an iPhone before I did.
he had an iPhone before you did.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Well,
That's
what do you guys think?
My mother bought it for him.
What do you guys think? Do you think these landlines coming back are going to help our children become better in life, or do you think that no? Or do you think it's going to blow up?
I think it's a spark in a fucking hurricane, like trying to light a match in a hurricane, and it ain't happening.
Yeah. I don't think I'm not sure either.
In order for it to change, it has to come from within the household, and parents have to be parents.
Do you think?
And they can't be self-absorbed, putting the phone in front of their face and being occupied with that instead of paying attention to their kids.
Agreed, 100%. 100%. All right. So, everybody here a house owner? No?
No.
Two of us are not house owners. Is that correct?
Correct.
All right.
Where my $1,000 at?
Where's your
so
Trump is introducing this new thing because the average. So nowadays it's harder and harder to buy a house, right? They're saying that the earliest that a person is buying a house these days is 40 years old. So you don't get to graduate school, go to college, build a family, get that apartment for that first year, and then when you're 24 in your 20s, you buy a house. Now kids are living at home into their 30s, or they are living in an apartment into their 40s because it takes so much to come up with that down payment.
They're talking about 50-year loans.
That's exactly where I'm going. 50-year loans is a fixed home loan, stretch payments of over 5 decades, resulting in 600 monthly payments. 600.
That's insane. Most people won't live that long to pay the house off.
So if you're 40 years old buying your first house and your 50-year mortgage, that's a forever house. There's no such thing as let me get a fixer upper or let me get a starter house. The house that you buy is your house for the rest of your life, because even if you sell it and you move on to the next house, that's going to be a 50-year mortgage. Are we on board with this 50-year mortgage?
No. Well, I think you have a choice. I don't think it's going to be automatic 50-year mortgage, is it?
I think the only thing that does is lower the damn
your
mortgage. Lower your mortgage by a lot, but still.
It's kind of like buying a car. If you get a 5-year car payment or you get a 7-year car payment, your payments might go down a little bit. It offers lower monthly payments, but the interest rate on a 50-year loan, think about what an interest rate would be on a 50-year loan. You buy a house for $400,000. How much are you paying in interest? You're going to pay
$200,000, $300,000 on interest.
Exactly.
I'm here to tell you, looking down the barrel of a motherfucking 30-year loan, a 30-year mortgage is a bitch. So I can even fathom a 50-year mortgage.
But if it's a 50-year mortgage, right, and you stay in it 5 to 10 years, you can sell it and you'll have equity in it. And then you can take that money and buy something else, right?
Well, you're certainly going to have less equity in it because you're paying more towards interest in the first decade. But yes,
because
you are correct. You are correct.
Okay.
No, you're correct. It's not going to be the same because that first 10 years of payments, you're probably knocking off like $100 off the principal every payment.
That first because you're gonna pay more in interest.
So I'm thinking about people. I'm thinking about kids graduating college. 23 years old. They want to buy a house. Of course, they're not going to stay there for 50 years. They don't know exactly where they're going to be in the next 10 years.
Right.
But if it's a way for them to build a foundation where they can buy that house and spend the money for 5 to 10 years, be able to sell it, pull the equity out of it, and then it gives them a base going forward. That's what I'm thinking about. Maybe it's a way to kind of build the economy, and I don't know.
Think about it. Even if you buy a brand new house, brand new spanking house, 2026, 21-year-old go buy a brand new house. In 50 years, that house is I'm not gonna say it's a piece of crap, but you know how old a house, how many repairs, how much more you got to put into a house that you're living in for 50 years?
There's a lot putting in there. So Donald Trump proposes this 50-year mortgage. According to a survey by Americans, the financial resource website, badcredit.org, 45% of Americans say they would consider a 50-year mortgage if this became optional, which it probably is. Also, to buy a house, what is one of the first things they do to get pre-qualified? What do they got to do? They got to check your credit. We got to check your credit. And you know what the minimum credit is here in Florida to buy a home? 620. So if you have less than 620, you can't even get pre-approved for a loan.
I remember, back in the day, it was a 5-year loan to get a car. A car loan was 5 years, right? Then it went up to 6. And now I think you can get it. Now you can get a 7-year.
7
year.
So you're kind of same principle, right? So if instead of signing a 30-year mortgage, you're trying to sign a 50-year mortgage
to lower your payments.
You're trying to get that payment lower. You're not really thinking about all the interest on top of it. You're just worried about month to month and being able to afford it and take care of your family.
Right. But if you're 40 years old and you buy that house, the day that you pay it off, you'll be 90 years old. 90. So you don't get to enjoy the luxury of no home payment.
You know who's going to do that? People I'm not going to say struggling, but people that can pull it off, but they're using all their resources to do it. Because I remember growing up in the hood, you would see motherfuckers with Mercedes, Benzes, Jay, goddamn Ferrari. They would have the baddest cars. And as I got older, I realized they would go to these car lots that know how to freak the system. And they didn't give a fuck if they bought $1 million car as long as the monthly was just right for them. They didn't give a shit how much they paid for the car.
Well, that's true, because if it was a 10-year payment and they meet their budget, they would get that $100,000 car. But now, so we check our credit, right? And so that's how we get our mortgage loan. Before the bank just looked at the number and said, you're approved or you're not approved. Now, if you're under 620, the banks are going to start deep diving your credit. All right, why is he below 620? Is it because he got into an accident and acquired $100,000 in medical bills and that hit him? Is it because he's just irresponsible with his money? What they're doing is they're opening up the qualification so more people can buy homes earlier in life, not wait till they're 40 years old. You get the 50-year loan, and then now you got the credit check that they're deep diving. So what does that do? That brings in more buyers into the market. So supply and demand goes up. And what happens when supply and demand goes up? Prices go up, right? So I'm not sure that I'm interested in a 50-year loan and having all these qualified people walking around buying houses, because it's going to end up being kind of like that balloon loan. Do you guys remember that balloon loan that happened in 2008?
Yeah.
Where they told you, they told you, hey, you can afford this house, even though you couldn't afford it. Your payments are only going to be $1,000 a month because you're only going to pay the interest for the first 5 years. Then you got to refinance it, and now your payments is $4,000 a month. And that's why everybody foreclosed.
And now you foreclosed a flexible rate mortgage,
right? And that's kind of what's going to happen this time around, in my opinion. I think we give the 50-year mortgage, and you have more eligible people out there. So you're going to tell people they can afford a house that they can't afford because, hey, you can pay that over 50 years. So why? Will a
50-year loan be similar to like an auto loan, where if you get a 5-year loan, your interest rate is a little bit lower? But if you stretch it out to a 7-year loan, which most banks don't do, you have to go to what they call it a subpar loan agency, and your interest rate is 19%, sometimes 20%. Where if you'd have got that 5-year loan, your interest rate was like 8%.
That's very true. It doesn't say that here in the article, but it does also say that what Trump is trying to do is whatever interest rate you get when you buy your first home. So let's say you get a 3.5% interest rate, which is unheard of nowadays. It's in the 6 or 7%. but we'll use 3.5%. If you sell your home to go buy another home, he's trying to propose where you can take that 3.5% and take it with you to the next home that you buy. So
there's something that he's finally got his fucking head around and done right.
So what he's trying to do is you sell the house here for 3.5%, and then you go buy another house for 7%. Those days are going to come to an end if Trump can get this passed. It's going to be as long as you're buying another house or a condo or what you're purchasing something, you can take your current interest rate, regardless of whatever, and move it over to the next house that you buy. I think that's fairly interesting. Not sure about the 50-year loan, but I like the idea of moving my interest rate over to the next house if I choose to buy something else.
But wouldn't that be on the? Go ahead.
No.
I said, wouldn't that be on the bank's discretion though? How do you know the bank want to finance the new house? Because sometimes your credit score, and Jay, when you buy your house, your credit is probably at the best it's ever been because you had to get it right.
It has to
be. For when you what do you call it, underwriting?
It has to be. I mean, I got a 3.5% interest rate. That's why I use that. Actually, 3.2 interest rate. You know what your credit has to be to get that type of interest rate? 3.2.
And as soon as you buy your house, 30 days later, your credit take a hit.
Oh yeah. I'm still trying to rebuild it from there.
Yeah, your credit take a serious ass hit because you just put a $400,000 loan on your credit. So now. How 5 years from now you might not have recovered to back where you was when you closed on your house. So how you know?
What was that, Toby?
5 years you'll be fine as long as you're not silly with your making your payments and shit. You're
the average homeowner because of your scores. The average homeowner, and I would say most Americans, especially in our society, in our group that we're with. None of us was raised with silver spoons. All of us worked hard as fuck for what we got, right? So we wasn't taught financial investments. We wasn't taught financial security. We wasn't taught how to budget. They didn't teach that shit in school. They didn't teach that in my house. They taught me how to be a man. They didn't teach me. My father didn't teach me how to budget a checkbook. He didn't tell me how to balance a checkbook. But so once you close on your house, that is the opportunity to go get every goddamn credit card you want because your credit score don't drop for 30 days. And so now you have 30 days to go and apply for every credit. And most homeowners do that. And now you are overwhelmed with the bills coming in. So now your credit score is steady dropping.
Yep. So does a 50-year mortgage make sense because of all the things that you just said, especially for a new home buyer?
Sounds to me like the bank's gonna make a lot of money because, like we talked about earlier, that part that was going towards the principal, that was a savings account almost for you because when you sold the house, all of that money that you did put towards principal, that's equity that comes back at you when you sell the home. Now the banks are getting that a percentage of that, a large percentage of that on a 50-year. Because like I said, what are you paying towards principal that first 5-10 years? Not 10 a lot.
Years, probably a couple $100,
man. Hardly anything. And the bank is taking every bit of that. Sounds like once again Trump is in a room full of asshole bankers and letting them suck his ego off, and then him fucking doing what they want him to do. That's what it sounds like to me. But you're free to tell me what you think.
I mean, I think the 50-year loan is exactly what you said. Who wins? The bank. The bank is always going to win.
Well, the bank win no matter who you are, unless you're rich and you can put down 50% of your house in closing. You put 50% down, the bank always wins. Most people like us put the minimum 15%.
Right. Well, because you know how hard it is to save 20% to buy a house, especially nowadays. You know what the average cost of the house is for a house in America is? Does anybody know?
380, something like that.
380. Would you say, Toby?
I'm guessing right in that ballpark. I'll say 405, 410.
Okay, Wally, you have one? What the average house cost is in America?
God, I think about Arkansas, Mississippi, places, Louisiana.
Yeah, okay, but let's talk in Florida.
We're talking about the average house. In Arkansas, that's $50,000. I'm just talking about the average of the United States.
That's what I'm saying. So that's going to bring down. So I'm thinking, 320.
320. The average house being sold today in 2025 is $410,000.
Toby, you win.
Toby, you got it.
I was right on it.
You called 405. But who could save a 20% for 405 or 410? Think about that.
20
That's a lot of money. 20%.
Well, see, now you got some billionaires that live in the United States that have like some houses that cost hundreds of millions of dollars. So that,
Well,
Mhm.
sure, but you brought in all them Arkansas and Mississippi houses, so it balances.
well, yeah, exactly. So, but still, you take away them damn $100 million houses, man, and just man, 400,000 just seems a lot, man.
Oh, it
Well,
is.
But think about
Well,
it though.
look.
The reason why is because the majority of your housing is going to be in areas where the property value is high. That's where
Right.
the majority of your homes are going to be around New York, around Orlando, around Miami, Houston,
It's
Dallas.
not going to be Chicago. It's not going to be in Portland.
No,
It's not going to
Chicago.
be.
Well, I mean, no, Chicago's got a shitload of houses too. This is where the most of your homes are. They're not going to be. You're going
Correct.
to have a lot fewer homes in Arkansas, so that number's. You know what I mean?
And we've also talked about earlier in the show, earlier in the year, that by buying a lot of people nowadays are buying houses outside the city and willing to make an hour drive to save money. Keith being one of them.
I drive an hour to work every day. 45 minutes, but I
You
will
didn't
go
buy
home.
anything, Wally. You just drive the hour just to drive the hour.
What are you talking about, dude? I live in Deltona, dude. I live in 2 counties away from where I work.
Yeah, well, yeah, but you didn't buy the house to be there. You can move whenever you want.
Okay, but I'm fine where I'm at. I like where I'm at. So
He's
Hey,
fucking
when-
stubborn about that shit.
I
hey,
just don't.
hey,
I just don't think. I just don't see this working. The 50-year loan.
if I was going to rent a house near where I work, it cost me $300-400, maybe $500 more a month.
Okay, fair enough to that. Fair enough to
So,
that. So it's the same
I know
concept.
somebody.
Same
I know
concept.
my wife has a friend, very
And
good
then-
friend of hers.
And then hold on, and then you also have to really compare to renting and owning. You own your house. How many times we've heard you get on this damn podcast to talk about, oh, I got to fix this, I got to do this, when I rent,
Yeah, well, I still
All I
have
gotta do
issues
is
with
make
my
a phone
goddamn
call.
sidewalk.
all I gotta do is call the rental company and say, hey man, the hot water heater's broke. They come out and fix it. I need a new septic. They fix it. I'm not scrounging for $3,000 to kind of fix these things. So I mean, you gotta
Yeah, you win, you lose the pros
you
and
gotta
cons to
balance.
renting.
You gotta balance. So
There's pros and
50-year
cons.
loan, 50-year loan, or renting where you call the rental company and say, hey, fix this, and they fix it.
Listen.
There's pros and cons to both renting and buying. Pros and cons.
I know a lady. One of my wife's really good friends just bought a house. Her first house. She's in her mid-40s. So you're right on cue right there with people buying houses at 40. But she just bought a house close to y'all's site. And I'm not talking the good side too. She bought it off of Pine Hills Road in what's that, Indian Hill?
Indian Hills. Oh yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the name of the street. Hialeah. You know Hialeah.
Oh yeah.
She spent $340,000 on the house. There's
Unbelievable.
no way I'm not. When my wife told me how much she paid, I want to go slap her, friend.
That's
You got a
rough.
pool?
I
Back
heard the
patio?
house is nice. I don't know. I haven't been there, but I heard whoever lived there, whoever owned the house before her, they modernized the inside. So yeah, you might walk in a house off of Hialeah from the outside, but when you get inside, you're in a Windermere house when you get in the inside.
Dog, that's the hood, man. How many dog? I don't know how many. I don't know how many times I've been to the hood, man. You walk into a house in the hood, and the outside is like
Hood.
not.
It's hood, and then when you walk inside,
It's a palace.
exactly.
Like, you're
That's
talking,
that's
white.
strategery right there, man. That's thinking
Oh, of
ahead.
course.
Hey, they don't know what's in my house as long as
Exactly.
the outside looks like shit. They don't think
Yeah, they
about
keep it
in
real.
this bitch.
Exactly.
But no, I ain't
Exactly.
spending 300
Hey,
nothing.
I think about that all the time. I let
on
my grass
Hialeah.
grow, man. I let my grass grow, man. Fuck that. No, I'm just kidding.
Wally, you probably the only one know what Hialeah Street at. There ain't a house
Yeah,
on Hialeah
I know where
that's worth that.
Yeah, I know where Hialeah Street's at. All right, real quick, we're pushing up against the clock before we move on to our next hour. November 17th, Trump vowed in the White House in a meeting, he vowed to send out $2,000 checks sometime in 2026 before the midterms. How do we feel about that? He's saying that this is a product of the tariffs. We've
You
made
have to make
so
under
much
100
money
grand a
from the
year, though.
tariffs that now I want to give it back to America. This is what he's going to do.
What,
It's
are
a
we
catch,
complaining
though.
about this?
Anybody
It's-
who makes under $100,000,
Everything's a catch.
$2,000. $2,000. So here's my question to you guys. Let's say this happens. Trump says, we get it. We get it. He says, I'm signing these checks. I'm sending them all out. $2,000 for anybody who makes under $100,000. If you're a Democrat, or if you don't like Trump, or if you disagreed with the tariffs, do you cash a check? Or do you say, nope, I disagree with your policy, so I'm not cashing that $2,000. This is blood money. What do you do?
My motherfucking money. I'm taking that shit.
Exactly right. Exactly right. My father's one of the biggest Democrats I've ever met in my entire life. And the thing he told me right before the show, right before we logged on, he goes, if Trump gets those $2,000 out, I might like him just a little bit more.
I'm gonna take the $2,000 just so I can keep putting up with that fuck shit I hear you doing every day. You can't turn the TV on without hearing the first 5 minutes of news of whatever Trump did. Trump wiped his ass with some pink toilet tissue today.
I'm tired of that motherfucker. I ain't gonna lie about it. I'm tired of that motherfucker. Fuck that motherfucker. That dude is corny, man. Just talking shit nonstop. Like, there are certain politicians that I actually like, right? And Thomas Massey is one of them. Rand Paul is one of them. Lately, this MTG Margie Taylor Greene bitch has actually caught my attention because she seems to have matured and woken the.
That's the one that he's mad with right now, boy.
Yeah,
he's mad with her.
All of these people running his mouth with petty, childish fucking tweets. Like, okay, bro, well, alienate me then, bro. Like, make me not like you with all this bullshit. Like, he's such a fucking child, man. It's annoying to hear him do all that shit.
But do you cash the $2,000 check when you get it in January, February?
I'm gonna cash it.
I think there's a lot of people out there. I think there's a lot of people out there that won't cash a check. I think just, on principle, they think they're going to hurt the president. They think they're going to change the process of the tariffs. And I'm not going to cancel this. I'm not going to cash this because it came from Trump.
Now,
there's a lot of people out there.
They're just not going to admit it. They're going to deposit them up. They just ain't
I think
going to
people
admit
living
it.
on Hialeah Street. I think people living on Hialeah Street are going to cash that check.
Why do we lose focus on shit that he's actually done and accomplished? Which is more than most presidents have done in the past 20 years. Why? And within the first year, it's not even the first year of his presidency. He has accomplished more.
Example, please.
He secured our border.
Example.
He secured our border. He's made not yet.
It's in the making. It's in the making. Obama started it. Obama started. Biden fucked it up.
Obama started. Oh my God!
Biden. Let's just sit back and watch.
Biden fucked it up. I'm here to tell you, Biden went back and fucked it up. So Trump went back and started doing some of the stuff that Obama was doing. Obama just wasn't aggressive. He wasn't taking mothers away from their kids.
What about Bill Clinton? Didn't he start the border, closing the borders?
Yeah, they always doing it. They always.
Yeah, it's part of the presidency. You're going to say that.
Trump doesn't make a bigger deal about it.
The only person that did do it was Biden. He's the one that actually opened the borders.
Yeah,
I think
Biden
every president. I think every president tries to close those borders up. Biden was the only one that didn't. He said, "You know what? Let's do something different. I'm going to bring everybody in here." But do you cash a check? That's what I want to know. Does anybody here if I get the check, I'm cashing it. Wally, you cashing that check?
Wally,
I haven't gotten it. I don't think I ever got one of those checks. So I don't.
I've never got one. And I'm telling you, I ain't gonna say what I was going to say.
Well, according to the study here or the poll here, is that if you make less than $100,000 a year, Trump's plan is to give every American.
I've never got a stimulus check.
Never stimulus check.
Any of that. I never.
You
guys worked.
We make too much money to get a fucking stimulus check. All right.
And you guys, and
well, that's what they say. But what do you? I mean, I don't.
Toby,
I don't know.
I'm sure you make the right change. I know what the other two motherfuckers make, so I know they're not getting a stimulus check.
Did you get a stimulus check in 2020?
I never got one.
Yeah, we make too much. We make too much money, and we were working, so that's why we didn't get one.
Shit.
Now, according to Trump,
so if I don't get it, then I ain't gonna have to worry about cashing it because I ain't gonna have it.
Well, according to Trump, and every American that makes less than $100,000 a year will get this $2,000 check before the midterms of 2026.
And everybody gets one will cash it.
Oops, I disqualify.
It doesn't matter if you like Trump or not. $2,000 hit your mailbox.
You're
You
cashing
catching
it.
that motherfucker?
Okay,
You don't
I've
give a
heard
fuck
so
where it
many
came from.
people tell me that they're not going to cash a check to try to
That's
make a living.
bullshit.
Well, according to the
I know.
according to the
That's
one
full of crap.
stipulation, according to the one stipulation, I know 3 motherfuckers on here that won't get it.
Well, listen. To answer your question, Wally and Keith, he just made a big tax cut. Doesn't affect any of us on this show, but he made the biggest tax cut in America by overtime hours. No tips on no tax on tips.
Didn't he do
help a lot
something
of
with HBC colleges, and he like freed up like $500 million for them to get money for Black historical colleges and stuff?
Wasn't that last time though?
No, that was this time too. He did it. He did it a second time. Oh, but once again, he hates blacks and he's racist and he doesn't do anything.
I never accused him of being racist.
You guys trip me out, man. Like,
before we go to sports,
how do I trip you out though? How am I wrong about what I said that he acts like a fucking asshole and just runs his mouth too much?
No. I agree with you. I think anybody
you're so focused on that you don't understand. Don't see what he actually does, man. Like that's the thing.
I have to be focused on that because that is the reality.
And that's the argument. And Toby, that's the argument we've had so many times back, especially on the back patio, about how you focus in on that shit, but you don't focus in on what he's actually accomplished and done. That, okay, I get he says stupid shit. I get it. It is annoying. Like, there's got to be a filter on him sometime. I wish there was somebody powerful enough.
He called a fucking woman on the goddamn Air Force One plane yesterday in the press corps piggy. He said, "I'm not talking to you, piggy." Like, bro.
Okay. Let's talk about you.
Listen,
let's talk about yesterday.
Look. He says things that we all wish we could say sometimes. All right. We all wish we could say that. But
he's almost like Landman, dude. He's almost like the Don Landman. What's his name?
I was actually watching that before I logged in.
Is a far more intelligent guy than Donald Trump is. I'm a stand on
dude,
that.
Look at the shit that he's accomplished, dude. That's the thing, dude. You focus on the rhetoric, the bullshit, the shit, the tweets, the things that he says, and that's what CNN and everybody's pushing. And those are the quick hits because you see him say a 20-second snip of. So whatever.
That means he made it really easy.
Okay, maybe. But you have to go back and see what he's actually accomplished, man, and sit there and say that is a successful president, man. Like, those are the things that we want in the United States to happen.
You realize that there's elections after he goes away, right? Like, there's more elections.
You know what's going to happen, right? So Vance is going to run, and Donald Trump's going to be the vice president.
That would be funny.
Vance is going to run and he's going to get smoked because this idiot doesn't know when to shut his fucking mouth for 4 years, and people get tired, and then they all of a sudden
they see the success
rubs off on Vance. They're going to look at him the same way.
You're going to see the successes that go on from here on out. We're talking about 9 months in this dude's presidency.
Can I ask a question before we go to sports? How many wars
has he ended? How many? The border. The getting criminals off the streets, security in our country, dude. There's so many things that he's actually done. Like I just said, Black historical colleges. He released $500 million in funds for them. Like there's so many things that this dude does that we just dismiss, and the only thing that you hear is the noise that we talk about all the time on this podcast.
His mouth. The things he says.
What about some of the stuff that
and that's what y'all hear, and that's all you focus on.
That's what most Americans focus on. Now, listen, I don't. Sorry, I got you, Keith. I don't agree with what he has to say when he runs his mouth, but I do agree he is a good president. He's made a lot of accomplishments since he's been.
He does
president.
some good things, man. I have never.
He has. He needs to be quiet.
Just like but in that same token, but in that same vein, though, you can say every president has good moments. George W. did some good shit, and he's considered the dumbest president we ever had, next to Jimmy Carter. And that's
what did Bush do? Name it.
I don't know. I don't support the motherfucker either. But
okay, so you just
if I research
he sent our troops to fucking Iraq for some bullshit.
Let's talk about Big Dummy.
That's what you want to call him.
No, Not Trump, the mayor of New York now.
Oh,
we're going that dumbass. Now we're going to
no, question. No, I just want to ask a question. It's going to spark a little bit. It's going to run right into our sports time. But
you're good.
It's on the agenda to talk about today about how police officers are leaving New York and all that bullshit because of Gotti, right? But
Trump you telling me you're a Gotti? Are you telling me you're a fan?
I'm not a fan. But I just want to see where everybody's thinking. It's been a big uproar because he's Middle Eastern, correct? A Middle Eastern man is now the mayor of New York, right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
Then what's the difference between him and Mohammed Salman that's sitting up in the White House that is a known, he's not a terrorist, but he's known to kill the goddamn the dude that worked for, I think, the Washington Journal, I think it was.
Jamal Khashoggi.
He's known. Mm-hmm. Yes, he knew. And Trump had him in there kissing much booty yesterday. And one of the reporters from ABC said, question that shit yesterday in front of Trump. Trump went off on him. And Trump said he got murdered because he said he was very controversial and pissed a lot of people off. Bitch, you're controversial and pissed a lot of people off. Ain't nobody gonna murder you.
Well, they tried.
Well, they have tried a couple times.
They tried twice.
What are you talking about? So you just walked right into that one. So I don't understand what you're trying to say.
So what's the difference between dummy? I can't say his real name, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The mayor of New York and the guy that was Salman, Mohammed Salman, that was in the White House.
Salman's going to go back to his country and has nothing to do with what we do in our country. So that's.
Well, I mean, he's got a lot to do with what we do in our country. That's why he's here.
I'm trying to get oil money. Yes,
off your ass. So.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, but as far as governing and have making certain policies within the government in New York City, you're talking about socialism. You're talking about government funded buses, government funded grocery stores. You see the police officers that are leaving. You're talking about taxing the billionaires and millionaires, hundreds of millionaires that are.
I think it's safe to say. I think that's the stuff that's on the chalkboard, but the people are leaving because of the color of his skin and where he's from. They have nothing to do with his fucking policies.
So the color. So we're going to color. Please don't go to color of skin, dog. What do you mean?
I don't know if I can agree with you on that one, my man. I think
the reason why they're leaving is because if you tax the millionaires, the billionaires, the rich, who owns you saw this happen in Compton back in the 60s when shit changed over there and white people leaving the community because of the uprising in the South, and people from the South were going out to the West. When they got out there, white people started leaving, and I'm saying white people as far as money right now, and I'm not trying to say race or anything. I'm saying money. You can be any color right now. You could be any color right now to this day and have a lot of money. All right. So I'm not trying to say, but all I'm saying is when that happened, the people that left those areas had the money that owned the businesses. And then, therefore, those communities faltered and went to poverty. You're doing the same thing now in New York City. If the rich people leave that own the businesses and move to different states.
They're not moving to different states. They're coming here.
What is going to be left over? And you're going to fall right back in the same track, back into the late 70s, early 80s, and 90s, man. And it's going to. I'm going
to agree with you 100% there, Wally. I think New York is in for a bad 4 years, a really bad 4 years.
It's going to be wild out there, man. I think if really all these police officers leave, right, and this guy gets to this model of law enforcement that he wants to introduce there, it's going to be real hard for a lot of people who have means to want to stay.
Go to Jamaica, Queens, and see what the hell's going on over there, and call for a police officer to try to reach there when something's happening.
I have a bad New York experience. I've been there twice, and both times I was fucking around Times Square. I've never been to all the other boroughs, and that was the worst. Oh my God, I hated it. And, you know, it was $50 to park for like 30 minutes in Times Square.
If you go to New York, it's fun to go to Times Square just to go see it and
you
get
gotta be
and see
rich
it.
to live in them areas though.
But then you got to go outside of Times Square. There's so much to do outside of Times Square.
I plan on doing it because I want to see it. I want to go to the Bronx. I want to go to Jamaica. I want to go to Jamaica, Queens. I want to go to Harlem. Times Square ain't where it's at. I hate New York because it's on both times.
You got to say New York is one of the best cities I've been to up to now. One of, I didn't say the best, but one of. And I never go to Times Square. I've been there, I think, once, Times Square. Once, maybe twice.
I've been there twice, and both times Times Square, it was a piece of shit because it was too much traffic and everything was expensive.
Go into these inner cities, and there's real poverty that's actually happening. And whenever poverty happens, man, and look, man, this is not a racial thing, man. It's just an economic thing. When poverty hits, people get desperate. When people get desperate, things happen. And usually it's violence that involves that. So you are trying to take away police officers and put in social and like those are the things that we counsel people. I forget what he even called them, going out instead of a real police officer to go out, they handle some of these situations. It's going to be mad chaos. Like how, if you don't have police officer enforcing law, how do the people that are living in those areas that are trying to go to work every day, trying to survive and live a lawful lifestyle, how do they deal with the criminals that and things that are going on within those communities when you're sending out social counsel people to deal with these situations? That's not helping. Like I don't understand how that wins. I don't know how that makes things better.
I think the people with means will leave, but as far as all the people that's like the police officers, a lot of the police officers, they're homegrown, you know, born and raised in New York, love New York. They're not leaving. You know, they're not leaving. I remember when Trump won the election, it was a shitload of people talking about they were going to leave the United States. So far, I only know one motherfucker who did it. Rosie O'Donnell. She's the only one who did it.
O'Donnell.
Everybody else is maintaining.
And that was not a loss.
Yeah, everybody else said they were going to do it. But when the shit hit the fan, they didn't do it.
Yeah. Yes. Excuse me. When COVID hit and all of the restrictions that were going on up in New York, and when DeSantis left Florida wide open.
Oh yeah, he opened up floodgates.
Okay, and how many people from New York left in?
Yes, and they left, and that's the reason why a home in Pine Hills.
Okay, so what do you think about that? So what do you think's about to happen again? Same thing. They're going to be leaving New York to go to Texas, come down to Florida. Mm-hmm. It's going to be the same thing.
God damn. Oof.
It will be interesting to see what happens as the next couple months, or when the mayor-elect takes over in January, and see where things go. But for now, you guys know what it's time for?
Let's get it.
And now it's time for the FLA Trash Talker Sports Talk.
Looking, he's going to heave one deep down the field. It's going to be to the goal line. It's going to be gone. It's a touchdown. What just happened? What a play.
Takes the snap. He steps up. He's all by himself. Fires into the end zone. Caught. Touchdown.
What is going on in the world of sports? Take it away, boys. And I am going to go to the bathroom.
Tell me you don't like to talk about sports without telling me you don't like to talk about sports.
Let's get into the college football coaching carousel that certainly is on the way and has already started. A few weeks ago, our boy James Franklin was fired from Penn State, which was a little shocking, but it happened. Was offered quite a big buyout to take a walk, but apparently that buyout has just been adjusted and they got into all that, and we are looking at James Franklin as the head coach of Virginia Tech. Now, Virginia Tech's been, in our lifetime, Virginia Tech has been a great program. Frank Beamer had them cooking for a long time. They had a lot of top 5, top 6 seasons throughout the late 90s, into the 2000s.
Yeah, it's early 2000s.
Frank Beamer had that program doing real well. Florida State played him for a national title in 99. when they had Mike Vick. I actually think this is the hire that's going to bring them back to that place. Now, when I say to that place, let's keep in mind what they did during that time. They had a lot of 9-10 win seasons. They had a couple seasons that were above, one leading them to the national title game. I think James Franklin can get them back to that. I truly believe so. Where y'all stand on this?
Go ahead, Wally.
Well, Virginia Tech as a whole, I think are third behind Florida State and Clemson as far as all-time ACC championships. So there's a history there,
which is wild, because they haven't been here. They've only been here as long as Miami has, and they have none. And they have none.
I almost said fuck somebody, but
so he's in that same region that he recruited, when he was at Penn State. If Virginia Tech puts the money behind him, if he wins 10 games a season, yeah, he's going to be a rock star there. And have an opportunity to maybe play an ACC championship game or make the college playoff game. And yeah, I mean, 10-win season. He's not playing Ohio State and he's not playing Michigan, or Oregon or USC. Florida State. You see where we're at with the flux. Miami's up and down. Clemson's right now struggling. Georgia Tech's on the come up. There's no real dominant team in the ACC. So yeah, I kind of was hoping maybe Florida State would get rid of Norvell to kind of take on Franklin, because he can recruit. He damn sure can recruit. So, and he built Penn State after what Joe Paterno and all that. I mean, you forget about where Penn State was at.
I gotta fact check you slightly on that, because Bill O'Brien was there for 3 or 4 years.
Okay, too. I know he was coming up.
Bill O'Brien was there for the immediate turn.
The guy at Boston College right now, right?
Yeah. So I'm not saying yes. I am yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So okay.
I'm just saying Bill O'Brien took the brunt of the hardest work, which was to get it back to existence, and then
yeah. I agree with that, but Franklin turned that. I mean, the reason why they got rid of Bill O'Brien was because of the fact that they weren't doing so good, and Franklin, on the the edge of that, if I guess that's what you want to say, turned that program around. And shit, I'll tell you right now. I tell you right now, if in Florida State, if we had 9, 10, 11 win seasons for the past 9 years, I'd be happy with that. So I mean, I don't know, man. Like, he's a threat now. When Lane Kiffin coming to Florida
or LSU?
Hold on, we ain't done with Franklin yet, dog. Let's finish with Franklin. We'll get to that. Keith hasn't had his chance to talk about this yet.
I just think, me personally, I think LSU. I think Florida. I even think of Florida State is more attractive than Virginia Tech. So what lured him to sign with Virginia? Now, granted, Florida State is still having a head coach. They haven't released their head coach. Florida has. I think he should have went to Florida. LSU has.
Why? If you go to Florida, if you go to LSU, you're competing against Georgia. You're competing against Alabama. You're competing against Ole Miss. You're competing against Texas A&M. I mean, Oklahoma. Like, if you come to the ACC and where the ACC is right now, and that's the territory that he's used to recruiting.
Yeah, right around the corner.
Why would you want to go to the SEC when the ACC is wide open right now, and he has an opportunity? Even if let's say he hits the ground running for the next 2 years, and then it falls off later on because of just the jump of him being there. and it's overhyped, and he gets in the next couple of years, and then the next 8 to 9 years they kind of fall off and maybe have an 8 win to 10 win season for the next 10 years after that. He's still successful, dog.
Yeah,
You
I
saw
get it.
you saw what happened with at LSU with Brian Kelly. The
But he
the
was a
the three the three
Bri-
the three
I thought
previous
that was a bad
coaches.
hire anyway. I thought that was a bad hire, Brian Kelly at LSU when they
Well,
hired.
I'm with
okay,
you.
but the three previous coaches won national championships. Brian Kelly had 9, 10 win seasons for the last 3 or 4 years since he's been there, and that success wasn't good enough for that fan base. So if you go to
Well,
Virginia Tech and if you have the same results, you're a king.
well, this is what happened to him at Penn State, right? So he gets them back to a place, and remember when we grew up in our lifetime, Penn State was always a top 5, top 7
Oh my
program
God.
our entire
Oh,
life.
yeah.
Joe Pop, before Joe Pop, you had
No, Joe
there's
Pop was there
nobody.
our whole time.
There was nobody before Joe Pop. I was
Yeah,
about to
Joe
say.
Pop got there in like 1960
Yeah.
or whatever. Like Joe Pop
Yeah.
been there, but like they were good the entire time. That fan base was spoiled by that, and then Joe Pop got old and it started to fall off, and then the fucking bomb exploded and it died because of the obvious scandal.
the scandal. Yeah.
Yeah, but so he gets there and he rebuilds it back to a place where it was always at, always a 10-win program, 11-win program, occasional national title shot, beating Miami in their gay ass fatigues in the 80s. Yeah, I said it. But
They cheated us, dog.
let me
But
just stay on track.
We cheated ourselves. We got off the airplane too cocky.
Yeah. But eventually your own success
Sorry.
becomes you build the beast, but then you have to feed the beast, right? And the fan base now is, well, we're always winning 10 games, man. Like what? Why ain't we winning that? What? Why can't we beat fucking Ohio State, man? What? And now it becomes a whole other thing, right? So now you're fucking fired, even though you did great here. So I think with him going to a place like Virginia Tech instead of an LSU, he's setting himself up to where I don't think they're ever going to become a program that expects to compete for national titles every year because they've never been that program.
That's what I'm saying. The expectations there is way lower than going to an LSU or a Florida. But let me ask you this. So yeah, Penn State was 10-win season, 9-win seasons, 10 years. But what's wrong with loyalty and having the coach be there a little bit longer? Maybe he makes a couple more changes and they get to where they're beaten. And because the amount of money that Penn State's starting to flood into that program, you're not 1 or 2 and fighting for a national championship every year. Where's the loyalty going to come from eventually? Because that's the problem. Like colleges don't have any loyalty to the coaches. So the players feel like, well, fuck it. If you can get rid of the coach, you can get rid of me too at the same time, and I can go anywhere I want to go.
Yeah, it's almost like a coach's portal now because a 10-year coach is very uncommon in college these days. Because
who's been now that
Kelly.
Now that Franklin's gone, who's been at a program for 10 years? Fucking
Dabo. Dave. Oh, yeah, Dabo.
Oh, Day has been there for 10 years. Yeah, okay.
Well, has he been 10 years?
It's right there.
Day?
Yeah. Well, they had that Luke Fickle guy. Yeah, he's right there. He's right there. Ryan Day's there.
So you got Dave, Dabo. You're due from Iowa.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah, he's been there forever. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't remember his name.
I can think of it. It's not coming to me, but that's where it ends, buddy.
Yeah, it's almost like a coach's portal now, because you get fired today, and like Franklin did, chilled out for a few weeks, and somebody's going to get fired in college, and they're going to throw you a shitload of money.
But we've gotten so selfish, or so, I don't know the word. Where?
Well, do you think? Let me ask you this: do you think it's possible? I know what you're saying here, so I'm jumping in. Do you think that it's possible that they literally could be fucking themselves? That in 2 years from now, Penn State might have actually won that ring. Like,
maybe.
I mean,
exactly. That's what I'm saying.
They're loaded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so maybe next year you make a couple changes and as you move on, like Bobby was there for,
Ever.
30, 40 years.
40 years, bud.
You know what I'm saying? And he didn't automatically win when he first started. He had to build that program. He had to get his people in there. He had to kind of get, I say that kind of going back to Florida State and where we're at with our defensive coordinator, like he don't have the guys for the system that he's trying to run because he's only been there for 1 year. Coach Belichick hasn't had one recruiting year to get kids in there.
Belichick gone, dog. I guarantee Belichick haul ass this season.
Probably
When he comes to the Miami Dolphins.
No, he's going to the Giants. He's going to the Giants.
Damn it. We need him in Miami.
No, he's going to the Giants.
But if he doesn't go to the Giants, this is a perfect example of how there's so much expectations put on a person, and yet the dude didn't even have one full year of a recruiting class to come in for him to recruit his players that he thought could fit his system, and yet we're trying to run the coach out because he didn't meet the expectations that the media and fans put on him. And 5 years from now, if he doesn't go to the Giants and he actually stays with North Carolina and gets 2 or 3 recruiting classes into his program, who knows where that's going to lead? But everything is so much about money, and because boosters are putting in millions and millions of dollars into these programs, I think they actually had the final kind of say and is kind of actually running things that's going on because, when you're trying to compete with the Joneses and I'm a millionaire and I'm from this school and we're doing this and we're going to beat y'all's ass. And when it doesn't happen, then you got all those other people that you hang around that are all this from those other schools that are going, we beat y'all's ass. Y'all ain't shit. Now you get pissed off. Fuck that. We get rid of the damn coach. I want to see a change because if I don't, then I'm not going to fucking give you my millions of dollars in fucking NIL money. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's getting crazy.
These
like there's no loyalty anymore.
Boosters and alumni, the big money alumni run these programs. You think it's the ADs because if you got $50 million for a severance for a coach, I'm gonna give you a $50 bag and you haul ass, and I'm gonna give this other coach $100 million. You got plenty of money. Okay?
Oh, so you know what this reminds me of? So when my son played soccer for a local club here, and there was levels to their age groups. So when you tried out, you could be on a red or a gold or a purple group, tier. Right? Mm-hmm. Tier. And if the kids, when they tried out, didn't make a certain tier, those parents would go to the damn club and go, well, if my kid don't make it, I'm not going to give you my money. So therefore, the club would sit there and try to make accommodations for the kid so that the parent would still stick around so that the club would get the money. It's the same thing, man. Like, so boosters don't get their way. Oh, I'm going to take my money away. And the club's going, fuck, man, we got to do something because, if we don't, we're not going to get that money. So, coach, time for you to get the fuck out of here. We're going to bring somebody else new in here and we're going to try this out. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's frustrating, man. It's just, where's the loyalty at? The loyalty. And that's why we love college football, the tradition. The reason why kids went to certain schools was the tradition, what they grew up on, what they watched, what they heard about, the things that happened in the history. And now, man, it's all about, well, I'm going to go here for 2 years, and if I don't get my playing time,
they don't even stay for 2 years. Well, if they don't get enough PT, they're in the portal in 1 year.
Well, the game that we grew up on, man, like when we were kids, there were like mythical figures, right? It was like, good evening, everybody. This is Keith Jackson. Welcome to the Orange Bowl. And it's Joe Paterno and Bobby Bowden,
I love those impressions.
Those people were like mythical, man.
Great impressions.
Great
impressions. Can you do Trump real quick?
No, Trump's retired today.
He-
You can't
he
get
did-
back on Trump or Wally's face gonna get red.
He did one Trump earlier. It was phenomenal.
But Keith, that was a good one. And when you heard Keith's voice, you knew that was a big game. That was the biggest game of the day.
Deal, man. It was a big fucking deal. And
Big
like
deal.
you had these mythical coaches, man, that had been there for 20 years, 30 years at these programs. And college has certainly got away from that. It's more of an NFL light product today. So I can't blame Franklin for going to that school, because you know what? It takes away a lot of that bullshit. His quality of life is going to be better in Blacksburg than it was going to be anywhere else in the South that he was going to go. Whether
He ain't
that
gonna
be
have that
Florida.
pressure.
You go to Florida anymore, you're going to Florida to get fired. I mean, ever since Urban Meyer's been there.
Yeah, you got to win immediately.
Yeah,
in Florida,
you're going there to get fired, man. So there's no point. LSU, you're definitely going there to get fired.
You got to win immediately.
Yeah, so I mean, there's just expectations that are unfair at times in these programs, and it's better to go to that a little bit smaller school, because, dude, there's a fucking bevy of talent in that area. I mean, that's the same place the Michael Vicks of the world came from. Them people, there's still people all over that area.
The defensive end that he had last year, that went to the Giants.
Abdul Carter. Yeah.
Abdul Carter, dude. That's what I'm saying. He's recruited that area and he's gotten a lot of talent now. And the state has a little bit more money.
You okay? You okay?
You almost fell over.
Jesus Christ!
I just had
Hey, when Virginia Tech's
Jesus
cooking, man.
Christ.
You go to that game on a Saturday night in Blacksburg. That place is electric.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
That's what's up. I think he made a good decision.
What did they play? Iron Man? What's their song that they play?
Sandman. Inner
Oh,
Sandman.
Inner Sandman. That's it. Inner Sandman.
But
it's cool. Cool state. Virginia's a cool state too.
Yeah, you can win there.
I've been there.
Go to the playoffs every 3 or 4 years. Win a playoff game or two here and there, and they're gonna love you for life. And then one time, all you gotta do is one time pull it off and win a national title, and you're a legend eternally.
Yeah,
it's James Franklin Stadium.
You're never paying for a dinner out ever in that city.
Yeah, it's. I didn't say it's good. Now we talk about the other programs here. Let's get into that, because Florida and LSU is a shit show. They're both apparently after Lane Kiffin. He's visited both places in the last.
He has, and his family has.
Whatever.
Yeah, that's what I heard today. I heard his family visit. I think that's bullshit. Family went and FaceTime.
Well,
while he was there.
He can't.
Well, he can't. Yeah, he can't, because he's under, but whatever. They went and visited to take a look at the area to give their input to Pops, all of that good shit. I think he goes to Florida. I think that's a done deal.
He's kicking ass at Ole Miss right now, though. So is he gonna leave? I mean, he's kicking ass at Ole Miss this year.
So the same thing, like we just talked about with Franklin being at Virginia Tech. Same thing with him at Ole Miss. Ole Miss program has not been this good since
Eli Manning.
20 years.
Since Eli Manning.
No, I don't even think they were quite this good. They were good when Eli was there, but not this good.
No, not this good.
I mean, they got one loss, and they're looking at a deep playoff run to me. So
yeah, they 10-1 with a bye week this week,
and they had an opportunity last year to make the playoffs, and so he's a god there right now. Now, why haven't Ole Miss? Or why hasn't he signed? Because Ole Miss right now has come to him and to his agent
it's
saying,
out
"Hey,
there. It's out there that the money has been offered, and it's not. It's a good amount of money."
So he is looking. I just once again, and it's ego, tradition. I mean, LSU's got championships. You can recruit. They have players coming out of Louisiana, like Florida. They're one of the top states in the country when it comes to recruiting. Their athletes, are coming out of there left and right. You look at Florida, 3 national championships. Their basketball team is good, good facilities, money that people's going to pour in there, lifestyle. But if I'm Lane Kiffin, man, I'm staying right there at Ole Miss, and
that's what I'm saying. I don't see him leaving. Because I guarantee you, I think they're paying him, they're giving him the right bag. He's making good money. Lane Kifflin, just his when he was offensive coordinator in Alabama, and when he went to USC, his resume demands to get the right paycheck, no matter where he goes.
He's
I don't
coaching
know.
the NFL. He was the Tennessee Volunteers head coach for a year or two. He was
No, he's
the USC head coach.
He was Oakland Raiders head coach.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He was in the NFL for a brief time.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's been around the block. He worked under Saban for a few years as the OC.
Well, that's what got to kind of get back to, and that's why how he ended up with the FAU job.
Yeah,
You know, and then
he
from
parlayed
there,
that. He parlayed the shit out of that.
dude, they went to 3 straight conference championships with him being the head coach.
That's how he got the Ole Miss gig.
That's what I'm saying. And I get that, Florida or LSU is a next stepping stone. Once again, man, what's wrong with just settling in and being a god where you're at? I mean, maybe they're at Ole Miss, I don't know. Maybe the lifestyle, I don't know. Maybe it's just, I don't know. I just think you have
I can
to
tell you this, man. Oxford, Mississippi is not really the fucking shining star on any hill. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, but I'm sure he's probably living on the shiniest hill
that they got. Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, but once again, you're living on the shiniest hill. When you come to Florida, you got some competition with that shiny hill, dog.
Well, the thing is, the other thing about it, though, in our conversation, we are talking about Baton Rouge, and we're talking about Gainesville. These two towns aren't exactly some fucking haven of class and fucking art and fine living.
I'm gonna say, do you know the best part of Baton Rouge? It's the campus. Once you get outside the campus, Baton Rouge is fucked up.
Yeah. Dog, when I was coming from New Orleans through back home, I was Houston. Whew, yeah, it was.
It's rough.
It was like, damn, dude. I hope I ain't got to get off and get gas around here because I better know where the fuck I'm going because that's a rough area. Now Gainesville's country, dog. Like, there's nothing there, man, but it's country. You know what I'm saying? It's laid back. Baton Rouge is a rough area. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. He'll probably end up at Florida if he does decide to change. That sucks for us. Any team in Florida, as far as I'm concerned, because Miami, y'all gonna be competing against Lane too when it comes to recruiting. And
well, I think Lane, we're gonna compete against Lane if he stay at Ole Miss. That portal's a motherfucker. So people are gonna compete. They're gonna go to the portal and try to go to Ole Miss as long as he's successful there and he stays there.
I'm talking about if he goes to Florida.
No matter where he goes, it's gonna be competitive.
Well, no, but if he goes to Florida.
Miami has their own thing to sell, though. Miami is their own market. Like, that's what's different about Miami Hurricanes is they are a market of their own because they have the glitz and the glam and the South Beach and the fucking all that shit. They got all of that, and that's going to sell to certain people regardless.
Yeah, but when
the
one
thing you can recruit against them on is that we have a better head coach than you, and I'll stand on that.
Well, I was about to say, when you have a head coach that makes bad decisions late in games where you lose games. I mean, yeah.
With that schedule that they have and the amount of road games that they've played, they've only been out of the state of Florida. Is it one time?
Once, SMU.
One time.
SMU.
They went to SMU and lost.
So is that normal for a college team, University of Miami, to stay in their state the entire time? Or is this a one-off for Miami this season?
They had the perfect schedule lineup for them.
Yes.
They manipulated a little bit.
I'm a UM fan. I'm telling you, the schedule was built for us to win, and we still fucked that up.
Mario fucked it up, and I'm not even putting it on. People say, "Oh, Carson Beck, this and that." That's a coaching situation, man. They shouldn't have lost up there in Dallas.
Come on, man. Carson Beck made some bad decisions. Yeah, but Carson Beck, he threw that interception at SMU, and I remember when that play happened. It was fourth down,
and they were going at that point, though.
Oh, I get that, but he made plays in that game that made it that close too. At that point, he threw interceptions that game, but that last play, I was like, Carson Beck, do what you do, and he damn sure did, man. He dropped back, he fake pumped it, and then he went right back to it. And when he fake pumped it, it gave the linebacker time to cut in front of the wide receiver. And as soon as that motherfucker threw it, man, it was the fucking. And then Then the Miami defense quit on them because they rushed it right down their throat to score a touchdown. They could have won the game with a field goal at that point. But SMU decided, fuck that. We're gonna run it right down your throat and score a touchdown on your fucking ass.
I didn't see not one play of that game. Not
You
one.
know what the most fucked up thing about this whole conversation is? It's that we keep on busting Keith's ass about Miami, and Miami is far and away a better team than Florida State, and they beat our ass. It's funny.
Well,
no, honestly, no, it sickens me that the schedule that we had a very weak schedule this year. And it's unheard of to beat Miami or any team in the ACC or in the top programs, and you don't leave the state of Florida. We left Florida once.
Well, don't y'all leave?
Games.
Y'all leave this week, right?
Oh yeah, our last two. If we gotta go to Virginia Tech, we gotta go to Pittsburgh.
That's the one. That's the one. The Pittsburgh game is the one that I think y'all might fuck up.
Virginia gonna be cold. Trash. They're gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold.
I saw that last weekend. Virginia Tech is pure dog shit.
Now they just hired Franklin. You don't know they're gonna get a bump.
Nah. You might get a little more spice out of them. Yeah, you might get a little extra spice. Like, we got to show out for coach, man. I'm trying to keep this spot. Like, you know, a little bit of that might happen. But I still don't think they can stay on the field with Miami. Miami absolutely abused the dog shit.
Miami starts out slow.
But the last 2 weeks, they beat the shit out of people, bro. They cost me my parlay last weekend, too, sons of bitches. I took NC State plus 15.5 and couldn't get them to cover.
yeah, the Wolf. And the last two games, though, Tony didn't have 20 yards. He's thrown a few touchdowns.
Yeah, they figured out they got to shut him down. But North Carolina State, Florida State plays them Friday, man. Did you see that? Tommy Castellano might be coming back next year? Did you see that, Toby?
Man, I'm hurt by that. I'm hurt by Mike Norvell coming back. Looks like I'm hurt by all of it.
Oh, Norvell's gonna keep his job?
Looks like it, man. Looks like it. He goes up there and wins in Raleigh, and then finds a way to win in the Swamp, which I don't think will happen. But if he wins both games, I'm convinced he keeps
the Swamp as in Gainesville.
Yeah.
If they beat North Carolina State, they're bowl eligible. So, I mean, he gets a bowl game out of it. They're, like I said, defensive coordinator with Tony White doesn't have his dogs. He hasn't been able to recruit the type of players that he needs to run his defense. You got Gus that's only been in there for a year. They're going to say we need to bring in some more guys. Me personally, I agree with all that. My one thing with it is you got to get rid of Tommy Castellano. I love the guy. He's an athlete. There's a spark with him when he's healthy, but the fucker can't read a 10-yard slant unless Gus designs a play to roll him out the outside so he can see past his offensive lineman. That's the thing that fucking kills me because shit, with the athletes that Florida State has, you hit any of those guys on a 5-yard slant, they give me 6. Right. Yeah. So first down, you do that. You get 6 yards, you're 2nd and 4. You do that a second time, you're 1st and 10 again. Like the simple things we don't do. We throw the ball 30 yards down the field constantly, and it's a ball up in the air. And sometimes the wide receiver makes a great plays, sometimes he don't.
Well, here's the thing about short quarterbacks, man, and this is historically accurate, and I can run through some names. If you're going to be a short quarterback, you have to be extremely intelligent. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it because you're already behind the 8 ball because you can't see over your offensive line. So development downfield, you're guessing. You can see to the outside. You can see if a guy has a one-on-one or whatever, but what's in front of you if you're 5'10", let's think about the quarterbacks who have been successful. That were short guys.
Michael Vick.
I feel like Mike Vick was 6 foot, 6'1". But
yeah, he's 6. Yeah.
Doug Flutie.
Drew Brees, Doug Flutie, Russell Wilson. These are all 3 guys that were pretty intelligent dudes, and they were able to manipulate that. Like if you remember watching footage of Drew Brees in the pocket, he would literally bounce on his feet slightly left to right, and he was looking between his guards. And he was
He's
like,
looking for lanes.
that's what I'm saying. He was
He's
bouncing,
looking,
looking between them for passing lanes.
he's looking for passing lanes, and he knew that a guy was supposed to be at a certain point at a certain time because when he walked up to the offensive line and when he's making his reads, he sees safety, he sees the free safety, the corners, they run a motion, they can see who moves, then he figures out, okay, this is the defense that's set up. I got to be able to know where the wide receiver is going to cut. If there's a blitz coming from this side and my hot reads over here, I got to be able to read that. And he knew exactly, and the offensive lineman knew it too. The offensive lineman has a lot to do with that. They kind of understand that he needs a passing lane. So when they go to block, believe it or not, they are actually pushing guys a certain way because they are trying to get a passing lane for their quarterbacks. When you look at Florida State and you look at Tommy, the only time he hits a short read or a short passing play is when Gus is rolling him on the outside, out of the pocket, so he has a clear view. You know what I'm saying? Our offensive line hasn't developed that kind of scheme with Tommy of figuring out the passing lanes and understanding the defense. It's very intelligent going back to what you're saying. So you have to be able to get up there, read the defense, know where you're going with the ball, and be able to also have your linemen know coverage, the protection coverage, and know how to move. So if you have a 6'5" quarterback, 6'5" quarterback's just able to dump the ball over the top. It don't matter what you do. But there's so many more things that go along with running the offense in the scheme of things when you have a quarterback that short. And it's frustrating that we have the athletes on the outside that Florida State's not able to use.
Yeah, well, if you're
6'5",
6'5", you're looking between helmets, not shoulder pads. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like you look at here versus this much space between a body. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like you can see everything if you're 6'5".
That's what I'm saying. So there's so much more that goes. Going back to what you were saying, if you're a smaller quarterback, you have to be more intelligent, be able to read. If you take Michael Vick, if Michael Vick would have studied as much as Peyton Manning or Tom Brady, we would talk about Michael Vick being one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
We might,
without a doubt,
if he would have studied how to not go to dogfighting rings. And
I knew that was coming.
I was going to say something along that.
I knew that was coming.
I don't want to bring. I'm talking about his athletic skills, what he did on the football field.
I'm with you. I'm just pointing out
one of the greatest
how much he studied. He was still going to get popped.
Well, what his cousins did and things like that, but he was one of the greatest athletes I've ever seen, and he had one of the strongest arms and accurate arms that God probably put on this earth. And
it's funny you say that because I just watched the condensed version of the '99 title game the other day. It happened on my phone, and I was sitting here doing nothing, and I watched the condensed version that was probably about 20 minutes long, and it pretty much showed every play in the game that you needed to see, every single play. And goddamn, that dude was wild.
Oh yeah, Vic was good. I didn't know Bryce Young was only 5'10".
That's another guy that has a hard time. But then Sunday he throws for fucking 450 yards. But I don't think Bryce Young has an intelligence issue like Castellanos. I actually think he's a highly intelligent dude. I just don't know if his situation is conducive to winning right now.
I just looked it up. Bryce Young and Kyler Murray the same height, 5'10".
Well, Kyler Murray, so his last contract, what was one of his stipulations that he put in his contract?
Stop playing video games.
You have to study.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when you're at that level, when you're at that level, when you're at that height, you have to be more intelligent because you have to know where you are going with the ball before the ball's even snapped. I know Keith has a problem with that.
I've been vertically challenged my entire fucking life.
Yeah, you have been.
And it's funny too, right? Because in my mind, I'm 6'3". I don't realize how short I am until I stand up to people like yo.
You know, my wife says the same thing. She's like 5'2", and she thinks she's like 6'5".
In my mind, I'm 6'3", 6'4". I really don't know how short I am until I see like that picture I sent y'all last week. God damn. I was damn near on my knees compared to y'all.
So we were talking about Miami, and then we got on Florida State. I don't think Tommy needs to return. I think I'd like to see a different quarterback.
I would too, but I don't think that's in the cards for you. I think we're locked into him if Mike Norville and Gus
stays.
come back.
I
I think you're stuck there. I don't think there's any movement on that. But what sucks is seeing a guy like Sam Levitt from Arizona State is apparently shopping already because he's been hurt this year, and he's going to be leaving next year because it looks like Dillingham will be leaving Arizona State, and that's part of the LSU search right now. By the way, I read that earlier today. Dillingham and LSU.
No, he's not leaving. No way.
Okay.
He graduated from ASU.
Does it matter, bro? Like, you're not going to ever do anything at ASU.
Dude, he was 2 years ago in the conference championship game.
That was just last year.
Okay, last year.
That was in the playoffs. They lost to Texas in that wild-ass game.
Okay. So a year later, you're looking for when you're going to leave.
Then why is he talking to LSU then? I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm not his keeper.
Because they're trying to get ASU to pay him more money, dude. The same thing with Norvell, and now we're Florida State's fucked with when Alabama
will be reconvening and having this conversation in a few weeks. And if Dillingham returns to Arizona State, I will bow down and bend the knee and tell you congrats on being right for your theory about loyalty. But otherwise, I'll be on here talking shit.
The good thing is this has been recorded live, so we can always play the tape back.
I hope he stays. I hope. I mean, I
don't think he will. I think a job like LSU will pull his ass right out of there. Dillingham is an arrogant little shit. I like him, but he's a guy that wants to fight and win championships. I can see that, and he's young and he's apt to make a mistake. And I think it would be a mistake for him to go to LSU, but I think it might happen if they don't get Lane. I'm going to stand on that business.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's talk about a little NFL, man.
Yes, sir.
Looks like our boy Joe Burrow might be coming back this weekend.
No way.
Y'all see that?
Yeah, I think he is coming back.
He practiced fully today while Raven.
I don't care.
Practiced fully.
There's no way to start. There's no way to start him.
Okay.
Over Flacco?
Why?
Because they still have a shot to make the playoffs.
Yeah, they're not winning. Yeah, they do.
They absolutely have a shot to make the playoffs. The Miami Dolphins have a shot to make the playoffs. At 4-7.
If we went out, we do.
The Dolphins' schedule is weak as fuck.
It does. Right. It is weak as fuck.
It's weak as fuck.
So we got a bye week this week.
The second weakest schedule next to New England.
So
the only team that's left on that schedule that's super problematic is the team we play in the final week, which is New England.
And the way I see it, we're going to win that because New England, if they keep doing what they're doing, they're going to set all their starters week 18.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, but if you're the Bengals, we talk about fucking Miami too much. If you're the Bengals,
you got 3 Miami Dolphin fans on the show.
That's why.
If you're the Bengals, are you going to try and put Joe Burrow out there when I don't think they have a shot to make the playoffs?
They got a shot.
Okay, you got this big of a shot, or do you have this big of a shot? You know what I'm saying?
That's a team that can easily reel off 6 in a row, and you know that.
I don't know the schedule. I don't remember the schedule.
I wouldn't bring them back this week. Chase not playing.
Oh yeah, he's suspended because of
Chase suspended. So your only receiving threat is Higgins.
Hey, talk about Florida State. I'm glad Ramsdale tried to beat his ass. Anyways,
that's somebody's lie. Talk about I didn't spit on him. You damn right, everybody saw it.
I didn't open my mouth to that man.
So the Bengals schedule is the Patriots at home this week in Cincinnati.
Loss.
At Ravens.
Loss.
At Bills.
Loss.
Ravens at home.
Loss.
Bengals at Dolphins.
Win.
I'll call that out.
Dolphins will win.
And then Cardinals and Browns, which are both winnable. But yeah, I mean, that's tough. That's tough. That's asking a lot. They got to win at least.
Shit, every game.
6, 7. They got to go 6-1 minimum.
Yeah, they got to win out.
So, are you putting your franchise quarterback out when he has the history?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
You have to give it the best opportunity to go to the playoffs. Because Flacco has did a damn good job, but he's not Joe Burrow.
People's fucking jobs are on the line, bro. Like they're not. If they have the ability and he's cleared to play medically, they're gonna fucking play him.
Well, I'm here to tell you.
Okay, so are they losing? Are they losing games by not scoring enough points, or by the defense not holding the other team to lower points? So
what I will say is
what I'm saying is it don't matter if you put Burrow or Flacco out there. If the offense is out there scoring points and the defense can't stop nobody, and you lose at the end of the game anyways, what's the difference? Only that you're putting your franchise quarterback, who has a history of injuries, getting hurt again.
I want to bring up a point that was made up previously in this conversation when Walraven said specifically, well, don't you think Virginia Tech might play a little bit better this weekend because of their new coach?
He said that.
Do you think maybe that defense might get a little spark from seeing fucking Joe Burrow come out on the field, buddy?
Why? Okay, I can understand that if when Flacco was out there and he's only putting up 9 10 points a game, the motherfucker's scoring 35 points a fucking game. They didn't get it was like, oh, our offense is so fucking bad, I'm going to go out here and suck because no matter what I do, we're going to score enough points to fucking win. They were putting points up. So Joe Burrow coming back and putting up 37 instead of 32, what's the fucking difference when you're still giving up 42 points?
Motivationally, teams, they're going to play a little bit differently, man, with Joe Burrow out there.
Not with that, not Chase.
That's the point that hurts the conversation for me, is that they got to figure out a way to beat New England without Chase.
They won't.
That's tough,
dude. If you had an offense out there that was putting up, it could only score 9 points or 10 points a game, I get it. But Flacco was going out there and they're scoring 30 points a fucking game, and you're still losing 35-30. If Joe Burrow goes out there and he puts an extra 7 points out there, what's the man? Like I just okay, maybe you're right.
Look, I'm not guaranteeing anything. I'm just saying you have to bring him out there and take a shot at it. The fan base. You got to remember, there's a fan base, there's people's jobs. Like, you're going to put him out there, bro. Just like the Washington Redskins. Yes, I'm going to say Redskins are going to be putting fucking Jaden Daniels back out there in a week. Watch.
That fucker Burrow gets a concussion, breaks an ankle, hurts himself, and he's out for 9 months, 10 months. And he's not able to start the next season. Are you really happy that you put him out in the season where
football, dude? Anybody can get hurt at any
time. I get it, but you're paying these dudes hundreds of millions of dollars. You're not
when
the
season is over. Look, man, you've been watching too much fucking FIFA, too much fucking soccer, boy.
You're talking to the dude that sits there and says that everybody should be able to play the fucking game. I'm gonna tell you right now, not everybody's built to play the fucking game. And you can see it with fucking Dart getting his concussions, Tua getting his concussions, and that's why they make these fucking rules so goddamn fucking soft.
I'm not going to count Dart in that. I'm gonna discredit you for bringing up Jackson Dart there, because
why?
That's his own fault. That's him playing too aggressive as a quarterback. You shouldn't play as dumb as he plays.
Okay,
run it in head first like that. You got to learn your lesson.
Your body is not okay. So running backs, Taylor. Achan, they run with their heads down and they get hit.
Why don't you watch Achan? Achan is extremely good at not taking big hits, by the way.
And
that's a learned skill.
And he don't run with his head down. That bitch have his head up and know when to take the exit ramp.
Yeah, Achan. Now that's what I'm talking about, though, Walraven. A quarterback doesn't run the way a running back is trained throughout his life to know how to run and avoid hits and not take certain shots. Quarterbacks don't need to be running the way a running back does. And Jackson Dart has done that a few times, and he's paid the price.
Achan runs the ball 25 times, takes 15 hits. Still, his body's able to absorb the punishment, and he's able to deflect some hits here and there.
Well, it's kind of like Lamar. Lamar also doesn't take a lot of big shots.
Doesn't include his blocking and things like that, but he's still taking hits. And Dart takes half as many hits and has concussions. Tua has 4 or 5 hits, and they all put him out for
I'm
concussion.
giving you Tua obviously isn't built correctly.
Body's
taking shots, and it doesn't work.
Not everybody's built to play this game. That's all I'm going to sit there and say.
I agree. I agree, and I'm gonna tell you right now. I think Joe Burrow isn't built to play this game. He's a great quarterback, but the bitch is like Samuel Jackson and Unbreakable.
Mr. Glass.
every year.
Mr. Glass.
Every year. So why put him out there when you were guaranteed hundreds of millions of dollars when you're having a small chance of making the playoffs? And you could ruin next year when you may be able to bring in a defensive coordinator next year, maybe make some draft picks and bring in some defensive players to make that defense better. So next year, when Joe's healthy,
For a couple games.
they could make a real run. I don't know. That's just me. I don't know if I'd put my guy out there. We'll see.
They got to play until the season's over.
No, they don't.
This is
Once
what they're
they
going to do.
determine that the playoffs they're eliminated, that's when you stop.
They're going to play Joe. If he's healthy, they're going to play him. Because what they have in their back pocket is Flacco. If he get hurt, he's the instruments playing.
I'm going to play him anyway because I want the continuity heading into next year. Like, I want everything to be as tight as we can get it, nuts and bolts, bro. And real quick, before we get off of here, the Miami Dolphins do have a shot to actually make playoffs right now. I don't know if you guys are aware of this.
They do.
Absolutely. We're one game behind Kansas City.
Yep, they actually have a shot to make it to the playoffs. Hey, maybe we're going to see Keith wearing that Miami Dolphin hat instead of them Buccaneers hat.
Does Kansas City make it?
They got a big game this weekend. The
Colts
Colts coming to town.
Yeah.
Will they play the Colts?
Yeah, that's a big one. That's a big one.
And they play somebody next week too.
You know the problem with Kansas City is they fail it, and it's Andy got to fix this. I don't know what he's going to do, how he's going to do it, but Andy has fell in love with Patrick Mahomes' arm and how intelligent he is, and they're not running the ball. They're not running the ball. When you sit back, I watch Kansas City every week. Every week I make a point to watch the Kansas City game unless they're playing the same time the Dolphins do. And all they do is throw the fucking ball. Pat throw that bitch 40 times a game.
Holy shit. Hey, so I just saw this and I'm kind of surprised by this, and that's why I'm bringing it up. I'm looking at the this. Okay, I think I'm looking at this wrong, but I'm looking at the conference. Oh, never mind. It looks like. What do you mean?
What are you talking
about? You got to tell us what you're talking about.
You're just kind of rambling on over there. What are you talking about?
I was looking at the standings, and it looked like the Chargers are fourth in the AFC West. The Raiders have to be, right?
Raiders are the bottom.
Raiders are the bottom.
Okay.
Raiders are the bottom.
That's why I was so confused. I'm like, whoa. I'm looking at something that's
no.
Just as a heads up, it's the Colts, and then they go to Dallas on Thanksgiving Day. Kansas City does. And then Texans, which isn't that easy of a team to defeat right now. Their defense is good. Chargers, tough. Titans, trash. Broncos, tough. Raiders, trash. That's 3 losable games at the minimum.
If they don't run the ball, they're gonna lose majority of the big games because all the defense do is sit back in a nickel, or they sit back and cover 2 and just spy on Kelsey. You ever notice Kelsey don't get hot to the third, fourth quarter every game now because they have
Kelsey. Go ahead. They have a spy on him.
They have a spy on Kelsey, and Kelsey can't get loose.
Well, because they realize he doesn't have a set route.
No, he found an opening. He found an empty spot.
For whatever reason, I don't know how him and Mahomes has done it, but Kelsey's never ran a traditional route.
Kelsey don't read the playbook.
I don't know.
Just get open. That's the play. Get open.
And Mahomes has been able to read it. Hey, if I fake, I'm going left, and that means I'm going to go back right, and Mahomes throws the ball to him, and it's perfect. But yeah, Kelsey hasn't been able to get open. The running games really hurt them. Offensive lines hurt them.
Yes.
The two Super Bowls that Kansas City lost is because of the offensive line wasn't able to protect Mahomes.
Man, Pat been running for his fucking life all season,
and they haven't been able to fix that. So until they fix it, I don't think Kansas City's still favored, from what I hear, to win the AFC.
That's because they have Patrick Mahomes. They don't count Patrick Mahomes out ever.
Well, they're 2 losses away from being in a real fucking bad situation. I'll say that.
They're
'Cause you
5-5.
can't have 7, 8 losses. That's what I'm saying. 2 losses from now, 7 losses. That's where it gets real hard to make the playoffs. That's where the beginning is.
They're third in the AFC West, man. That's tough.
Well, they ain't catching
Yeah.
Denver.
Denver's 9-2.
Yeah, that's over.
Denver's good, man. But you know their defense took a hit when Surtain got hurt.
Well,
Because now, when he expected to come back? Because you can throw a pass on their ass now.
Yeah, he'll be back.
When
but
Patrick Surtain was healthy,
And they got a bye week this week. He's already been out the last 2 weeks, and now they got a bye week, so it's coming.
Yeah, but the offense hasn't been doing anything the last couple of weeks either. They've been winning, but not they've.
Well, you got to get through the bye week sometimes, and
they should have lost Sunday.
Yeah, but Denver. I don't know how real Denver is. They got some issues at running back. We'll see what happens with Denver. Defense is great, but Chargers, they got offensive line issues. We'll see what happens with them. AFC, you think Baltimore actually can make a run?
I think Baltimore have a pretty easy schedule too.
All right, boys. What you think? Got very quiet there. I was like, what the hell?
I thought you were fixing to pull the cord, bro.
I'm pulling it right now.
Well,
all right, guys. It's the end of our show. This is the FLA Trash Talkers. It's time for our final words. What do you got to say about it, Toby?
Well, I didn't make Wally as mad as I wanted to.
I was hoping. I was waiting.
I oversold
had
that,
something.
and I'm sad about that because I had some good stuff, but it just didn't topically work out.
Oh, we have 6 days until the next show, so yeah, it'll be plenty of material for next week.
I plan to. I'm gonna get with you about some production level, getting some more Trump conversation in there next week, so I can really piss him off.
Looking forward to that. All right, all right. Final words, Wally. What you got for us?
Nothing. I'm looking forward to next week's show now. Can't wait to talk about Trump.
Trump for Wally. He's going to be so happy. You might want to have a glass of vodka during that conversation.
Right, sounds good.
All right.
Hey, next week's show is
Thanksgiving. So yeah, I'll be really fucked up.
So I might have to break me out some cocktail, boy.
So I'll really be fucked up then.
All right, what you got? Final words, Keith.
Man, I'm just happy that my Dolphins have won 3 of the last 4 games. Fins up, baby. Never lose.
Fins up. And what? I'm disappointed that Toby doesn't have his Miami Dolphin hat on.
Didn't match the shirt.
That's it, Keith. That's all you got. You're happy about the Dolphins?
Damn right, man. Let's go Dolphins, man.
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for joining us tonight on the FLA Trash Talker podcast. I'm JG, and we will see you guys next week. Thank you for everything. Make sure to share this show, tell a friend, and hell yeah, man. Let's get the hell out of here. It's time to go.
And that's it for today's episode of the FLA Trash Talkers. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you had fun listening, we're doing something right. So make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and make sure to share the show with all your friends. New episodes are live every Wednesday from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. on YouTube, and you don't want to miss the next show. You can watch all of our shows on YouTube. Just search for the FLA Trash Talkers podcast. Until next Wednesday, the world is hectic, so don't take everything so seriously. Don't get so offended, and keep talking trash. We'll see you on the next episode.